I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about.
Who cares what you want to talk about?
Well, I've seen the movie a few times. I can
Beautiful
bring up some
movie.
interesting things, I
Ryan
think.
has never seen this movie before.
I've never seen The Shining. I this wasn't like a mantra that I live by, but I just kind of wanted to go my whole life with never seen it because I seen one scene from it when I was
You're
younger.
fucking scared.
The scene with the lady in the bathtub, the hot lady in the bathtub, and I was like,
yeah.
"Yep, I don't need to see this movie." Like it freaked me out.
What are you,
And
Aunt
I've been-
Sassy from The Comeback? I don't need to see that.
I don't need to see that.
That's ageist, Ryan. You're being ageist.
Mhm.
I thought she
I'm
was
just saying, hey,
equally
I'm just
beautiful
saying-
in the tub and out of the tub.
If you got HBO Max, check out The Comeback.
The Lisa Kudrow show.
Call it a
Yeah.
comeback.
The show's funny.
Is that the one with Johnny Knoxville? Oh no, that's The Ringer.
I need to watch that.
It's a classic.
Yeah. The Ringers
Ringers.
is like The Shining for me. It's like I watched a little bit when I was a kid. I got scared.
You got a lot of conspiracy theories about
This-
it and stuff.
This was a
Yeah.
very beautiful movie, though. Very gorgeous.
Yeah, this
And it
is
wasn't
Stanley
even that scary.
Kubrick's-
It's not even that scary. It was more like an art house piece.
Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, 1980. 81,
1980, got it.
80, I don't know.
1980.
Got it.
Is this Kubrick's best movie? That's the big question.
What's some of his other ones?
All right, here's the hits. We got Doctor Strangelove, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining,
Clockwork's lame.
Full Metal Jacket,
I haven't seen any of these, man.
Eyes Wide Shut. Oh, you
Oh,
haven't seen
that.
the Killing, Paths of Glory, Fear and Desire, Lolita.
Mm-mm.
So Kubrick is like, when I was in middle school, he was my favorite director. And
Are you talking about
he's
Stanley?
Stanley Kubrick. This guy, when you're like first getting into movies, his movies really just like make an impact because, you know,
Well, they're really entertaining on top of being like expertly
Beautiful.
made in a way that you notice.
yes, they're entertaining,
Like
mainstream
easy
movies.
to see why it's so good.
They were most of them were blockbusters, very big hits. They are maximalist. They're all like hyper detailed, extremely well made, extremely well crafted.
Everything
Good
is like
music.
perfectly composed. Every element of
And the
Very
other thing
balanced.
is they're all hypnotic. You just get
Yes.
lulled into this state of just like being like, it's like glacier paced, but you don't mind. And it's like, you just get locked in and the movies become, you can like really focus all of your attention on it because because he makes everything so perfectly and there's no like real flaws or there's no like shitty scenes or there's no half-ass scenes. You don't get taken out of the movie. Unless the visual effects get really bad or dated or something, but like you don't get taken out of the movie and you just like stay on the journey. And also like his editing's really good. His music choices are really good. And
Oh, the timing. Yeah.
you know,
Well, does he use the same?
people talked about him. Have people talked about this before? Are these
all
new?
of this, there's nothing new you can say about Stanley
About
Kubrick.
Other. I
Stanley
got some. I
Kubrick.
got some. Yeah, I was gonna
Stanley
say.
Kubrick.
Did you know he used to lick pubes?
Who doesn't?
Stanley. He's my favorite director, Stanley Kubrick.
While Adam was sipping piss out of a Gatorade bottle, Kubrick was
Ryan.
licking pubes.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen
It was a
2001:
water
A Space
No,
Odyssey?
I have not yet. That's one I haven't seen. I always get too high. Or it's
It's a
always
great
like
movie to smoke and watch though,
I
because
think-
it's a great movie actually to talk about while you're watching it.
oh,
You're like,
I'm
what-
talking
What's going on? You know?
Well,
Your
yeah, I'll get
audio-
too high.
I just want to
I'll
say
get-
Stanley
Mine?
Kubrick would be appalled at Adam Bauer's audio because he's clipping, he's hitting the gate. You're getting digital distortion. It's like your volume.
Pardon me.
DD
I
it,
turned it
bro.
up when
You
I
DD
when the
You should turn
mic
it
was
down a
turned
bit.
Around. I know. When the mic was turned around before I realized I
See,
turned it up a lot.
Stanley
So,
Kubrick would beat you. He would torture you. He would make it start over.
I don't want to torture myself.
So the other thing about Kubrick is this is when he starts losing it because this movie
Like
has
literally?
the most. Yeah, he losing his artistic abilities, his vision, and everything. This is kind of his peak.
Oh, he's not going like senile though. Okay, that's what I thought.
No,
you were
this
talking.
is him at the peak of his.
This is what he made after 2001, right?
No,
Or
no,
this is
no,
the
no.
first one.
No, Clockwork Orange is, and
Yeah.
it goes 2001, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining. So
Oh, wow.
this run's very important for him. So 2001: A Space Odyssey was an enormous hit, gigantic hit, huge, fucking
Think like Dunkirk.
think like
Christopher Nolan.
Star Wars before Star Wars, Jaws before Jaws. Like the visual effects
Big
leap
Mama's
that he made in 2001: A Space Odyssey has never been. Well, I guess it's been duplicated since, but like it's like
Yeah, that
2001
gap, doing that for
Star
the first time.
Wars.
He did Doctor Strangelove right before 2001.
Yes.
Oh, he did
So that's
multiverse.
part of the because like Lolita and stuff, or it's like whatever.
Doctor Strangelove
It's like,
wasn't a hit though. But here's the
Oh,
reason
okay.
why I'm bringing up 2001 in relation to The Shining is because they're very similar movies. So 2001 is when he really clicks in. He's got the classical music thing going. He originally was going to have a score. He had a guy do an entire score for the movie. He threw it out and was like, "I'm sorry, I love the temp music now. I can't imagine listening to that." So like it's all classical music, like the waltz when the spaceships are spinning and stuff. There is some original music at the end, but just a tiny bit. So then Clockwork Orange has classical music. That's a big hit. But with that movie, he's like trying to go low budget. Barry Lyndon is probably the movie he worked the hardest on. And it was kind of a flop. People thought it was boring.
Heard of it.
It's fucking awesome, but it's long. It was not a big hit in America. It didn't really win that many awards. And so The Shining was him like, I got to make a hit. And so
And it hit.
it was a big hit. But Barry Lyndon, he was getting pretty nuts with like how many takes he was doing. The Shining, he just goes off the rails. So like there's a scene with Scatman Crothers in the kitchen when he's talking to Danny when they're having ice cream. And he's like, do you know how I knew you liked, or do you know how I knew your name was Doc?
Yeah.
And he talks about The Shining. He
Yeah.
shot like
It's
100.
one of the most important scenes though. It describes the whole plot.
It's very important. It has to set up the whole psychic ability thing.
That's like the Stephen King element.
Yeah, and I really want to get down to the questions because I got them.
But that scene took 161 takes, and Scatman Crothers
Jesus.
was like freaking
Which
out.
take did he use though?
I don't know.
He uses like this. He uses the second one.
Yeah.
He's so pissed off.
And I think he got it right, actually.
See, the thing is, so yada yada yada. This whole thing of shooting all these takes, making everything perfect, really has helped Kubrick's status in the long run because his movies hold up for repeat viewings because they're so well made and they're so
Well, you talk about
perfectly
like,
calibrated.
Yeah, like Shelley Duvall's performance is also one that was like really defined by the exhaustion of the number of takes he was doing.
Yes.
Like when she's like real and like at the end when she's like being really just like
She's just
worn
screaming
out and terrified and shit, like it really does look like that because she's like legitimately like freaking out, having like
wasn't Jack Nicholson kind of pushing it too? Isn't there like some bad blood there?
Was there?
Well,
was there,
he's never
was Jack Nicholson doing as many takes too, or was because he was like
he's doing a lot?
He got like real into. He got real like Wasn't she? Didn't she say she was like scared to work with him because he got like way too into it?
He's really good in the movie.
He is really good, but I mean that would be scary. That'd be scary,
The thing is with Nicholson is that he did put himself into it a lot, but also he never was the same after this movie. Is that this is when after this movie you get the big loud Jack Nicholson, you get the Joker, you get The Shining. It's like Pacino
snapped.
The same thing happened with Scarface. There's like a before and after thing. De Niro with Raging Bull. There's a before and after. It's like this is when all these guys started really pushing themselves.
I mean, maybe
into
they
this
were
like method
oh shit, that
thing.
was like that makes it like an amazing that like that as an actor that like feels like that they had done push their like craft or whatever to like its limit. So it's like they feel like they need to keep doing that, and maybe
It's a very American
maybe it feels
thing
like
to
too
do.
big sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's like I bet it's like they've already done for their career. They've already had these performances that are more understated and natural, and then they like or whatever they get known.
They're just
for, and they
having
have their
fun
big,
with
iconic
it.
character one.
And now
So
I
then,
can
like,
make anger
why not
management.
keep going?
Yeah.
Let's explore that character.
Call the Sandman.
Well, the
Why is
cost
he so close to Adam Sandler's
while
face?
they hit that like high level of grandeur, the cost is they lose the ability to be subtle, believable, relatable. They can only kind of play these over the top characters. Every now and then you
It's cool.
see hints of it in their performance, but it's like a big motivator behind this movie was to be a big hit, was to make hell money, was to show Kubrick was relevant. He was really upset. The book was huge. So this is one of the earliest Stephen King adaptations. It's after Carrie. So it wasn't like the late 80s, early 90s where people were kind of exhausted of Stephen King, or it was just like, oh man, he really knocks them out. Like,
okay, yeah, the stapler guy.
Some of these movies are fucking stupid. The Lawnmower Man, this is just getting, even though it's like a rip, not even based on his book, like, he had
Lawnmower Man, I forgot about that one.
He's just like, he's a new writer at the time. So there's a different kind of relevance he has.
Have you seen there's an interview with him and George R.R. Martin, and George R.R. is like, how do you write so much? He's like, what do you do? Like, what's your day to day? And Stephen King's like, it takes me like 4 days to finish a book, and I just sit down and do it. I probably do like 2 books a month. And George R. is like, what the fuck? You never just sit down and like have a blank, like, and have writer's block? And he's like, I just write through it. And it's like, that's why all of his books are like it got old fast. The twist, or the telekinetic twist, or the
because he's like a cokehead, right?
Well, the other thing is, that's a good contrast with
like
Kubrick.
Thing.
He was an alcoholic. He was on cocaine. That's true.
Stephen King was? Hell
yes.
Yeah. That's he's like the habit. Those are the habits of somebody who has.
The Shining is very autobiographical for Stephen King.
Yeah, so The Shining is about alcoholism, right?
For Stephen King, it is. For Kubrick, not so much.
I mean,
so
I'm just going to say it. Yeah, well, for the script, I mean, the script, because he literally, his kid is telekinetic, right? And he doesn't know this. His kid's got The Shining. And he 5 months later, previously abused him drunkenly.
Yeah, let's get in the movie. Enough
drunkenly
theoretical bullshit.
Him. So I'm kind of getting theoretical, but I think it's pretty literal. So he abused him, and then he went sober for 5 months, and then I believe the kid was the one that was torturing him. Like the kid had was like fucking around with all the demons, not on purpose.
Well, William, this is he can have his interpretation of things.
I'm not saying
237.
Give me an example of the kid torturing
every time
the father.
So the scene where
from the perspective of an alcoholic.
Well, the whole thing is like he doesn't like his dad because he's scared of him, because he was just recently physically abused by him.
He's really young.
He's clearly traumatized. Yeah, he's like clearly something's he's hurt. He's talking to himself in the fucking mirror. He's being possessed. Okay. So every time there's a scene, specifically with the lady in the room, the sexy lady that turns into a rotten old lady, while that's going on, it keeps cutting back to the kid having like a seizure because he's watching this happen. Like he can see it happen. So it's like every time something haunting is happening, it cuts to the kid and he's having like a seizure.
The thing is,
he's maybe doing it, is what I'm saying.
I believe you have it backwards. So in that scene, I believe while that
he's reacting to it
is happening, the kid is feeling it. He's reacting to it. He feels the energy of the hotel. There's a theory that
Jack Nicholson's not even actually there. He's dead. He's been dead since 1921. Jack
Nicholson is actually, he has The Shining also. That's a theory.
Yes, because I had that theory too, because you can tell that something's off with it. He just can't control or can't deal with it,
and he doesn't know how to control it. Yeah. Well, you have to remember that, like,
I don't know, fellas.
The kid has Dick, the cook, to explain to him
He
what
has a
he's
tutor.
feeling.
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson doesn't have that. Doesn't have that advantage. So when he's at the bar talking to the bartender, or he's in the bathroom,
He thinks it's
talking to-
real.
yes, he
But
thinks
he's also
crazy.
dead though. I kind of really didn't like that ending.
He's not dead, Ryan. He is a person who, with a wife and kid, who drives a car.
Then why is
and
he in
has
the
a
picture from
job.
1921?
Because
Okay, he's not
it's like
dead.
the house like absorbed him or whatever. I agree. The picture's a little confusing.
Of course,
That's
the
what they're
picture's
saying?
confusing.
Who was
that
standing there before? There's some guy in the
get
middle.
to. Here's the thing: Kubrick understands something very important that David Lynch understands. That a lot of like really good avant-garde artistic directors understand, which is you don't have to explain everything. You just leave a little bit unexplained and let the audience fill it in. So
Yeah.
everybody can have
All
their
about
own
vibes.
theory about why he's in the photo.
Yeah, that's the
Ryan,
fun of it.
Do you know about this movie? That's the documentary about this movie, about like the theories.
237 or something? No.
Yeah, have you?
Dude, I just saw this movie for the first time. I ain't watching behind the scenes before
I
I've
don't know.
never
There's a lot
seen
of
it.
idiotic shit in it.
Adam, we can't hear anything you're saying because you're sitting 2 feet away from the microphone. You have to put your face
You're
up
shining
to the
us,
microphone.
dude. I can
You
hear
don't
him
just-
perfectly in my head though. You can't
What
hear
is
him in your
this?
head? Adam's in my head right now.
You gotta swing arm, swing that shit over.
How's that?
It's better,
How's that
but
sound?
you
Better.
get that shit closer.
Yeah,
Put your
smooch
lips
it.
on
My
it.
bad.
Kiss
My
it.
bad.
Kiss it,
Trace
bro.
trace your lips with your finger and then trace the
I
microphone.
gotta get my lips on it. You're saying
Just-
for real?
Yeah,
Kiss
put
it.
your fucking mouth on that shit.
Give it a kiss. Give it a little peck.
He's
Let me
got
see
a
a little
pop
back.
filter.
Oh.
Pop that filter, bro.
Let me see a little smooch.
How's it? Pop.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus. Never mind. I regret it.
So the other
Right, so
thing
this is
about
what I'm gonna
arousing.
sound like.
so what were you
This is
gonna
what I'm
say,
gonna
Adam?
sound like on the.
What's your theory about 237? That movie.
Oh,
that
it's
sucks?
just a lot. There's a lot of things that are really stupid in that movie. I feel like. Well, if you watched
Oh,
The
their
Shining
theories?
after seeing that, because you're just like, there's nothing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing
This
with
is
that
not
movie.
what
The
the.
movie
This is
isn't
not what's
bad.
going on.
That movie just lets people go wild with their theories,
Just a
and
nerd,
it's
so you-
I hate these people. If you really want to understand this movie,
Like Ryan.
you have to look at it in the context of all of Kubrick's other movies. That's how you kind of understand his motivations. If you
Well,
see how he works,
No, he didn't write this movie though.
yeah, he did. He wrote the screenplay.
Well, there
He would
wrote the
literally rewrite the
screenplay.
pages every day.
The scenes are.
And Stephen King hates this movie. Stephen King detests this
because
movie.
he it's so much not like what he.
It's so different from his book. The book for him was extremely personal. It's about his own alcoholism, being a writer, yada yada yada. And Kubrick was just like, "Yeah, I don't care about. I just want to make this into a movie, and I
Let's
can
just
make
have this guy
movie."
chop some people.
But the
Let's have this guy
alcoholic-
chop a door down.
The alcoholic element is a really good part of the movie, though. Too, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
because it fuels Jack's. His character name is Jack, right?
Look, this movie blew
Yeah.
away his book. No one reads that book. No one talks about that book. People talk
I
about
had
the
a-
movie.
I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about the alcoholism.
That's why Stephen
element of
King
the
is
movie.
he's jealous. He's jealous. All right.
Yeah, I could see that. But
The
it's like
alcoholism's there. It's there. But here's the
that
thing,
character
Stephen King's-
motivation. That's a really good character motivation.
What was he? A
or, like,
teacher?
trait.
He was a teacher. He just retired as a teacher. Just quit his job as a teacher.
He-
That's how it
he
starts.
stopped. He yeah, I guess he quit or he got. I don't know. He was looking for something else. But he's just trying to write a book or whatever.
It'd be his first book. So he's
like,
not a writer. This is
alcoholism-
him trying to get into it.
I've
He's
thought
going to
about like,
isolate himself and he's going to write his novel in isolation. It's a great plan. It's a
Am I going to be
pandemic.
allowed to
Yeah.
talk?
Well, no one can hear what you're saying.
What are you talking about?
You're really quiet and you're really far away. And it's just kind of like,
You just told me that I was super loud.
look, Adam, you don't, if
Hello?
I don't hear you,
Pop.
you got to have force. This is a battle of wills.
I feel
Ryan,
like
is
the
this
kid-
true?
I feel like the kid, and I don't know which one of you is Nicholson, and actually Williams Nicholson,
Fuck
and
yeah, bro.
and Adams, you're the sexy ass wife, dude. I fell in love with
Fred.
her name.
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah. She
Oh
looks
my
good in this
god,
movie, I
dude!
gotta
I've heard
say. She got good
everybody. I
fits,
always
too.
thought she was cute, but
Movie
damn,
destroyed her entire
So-
acting career.
yeah. Why?
That's relief.
What's the trivia on that?
Well, the other thing is
Can you hear
how
me
much of
okay,
an
by the
acting
way?
career.
Is this good?
Yeah, it sounds great, dude.
Okay.
It's like,
Thanks. Well, you
how much of
burst
an
off in a
acting
minute,
career
yeah.
was she even going to have?
No, she did Shelley Duvall's, or she was like, she hosted that fairy tale theater show. And,
There's lots of
you know,
reasons why people have short acting careers.
that part is that show was good. I thought.
She's in this movie.
As a kid.
Everybody loves it. How many movies do
this
you
is a
want to
great
be in,
movie.
Shelley Duvall? You want to be in Beverly Hills Cop? You want to
That's
be
all
in?
you need to be in. That'd be sick.
She's really good in.
She wanted
Oh,
that anger
Ryan,
management.
Woody
role.
Allen eats her out in
Annie Hall.
How old is she in that movie?
12. She plays his
Pervs.
daughter and he eats her out.
Yeah,
Woody Allen
all the
sucks.
women roles in Annie Hall are like
Woody Allen sucks. Jerry
Little
Seinfeld
kids.
sucks. Let's move on. They're pedophiles.
Okay, Kanye.
George Bush doesn't even care about black people.
something that those two have in common.
Look, let's talk about the movie. All right. So this movie is awesome. Opening title
Yeah, I was
I was
sequence,
gonna say.
gorgeous.
It's all built in a studio, right? Most of it's studio.
Yeah, studio, second unit. Kubrick is like very controlling, but he didn't want to go to America. He was afraid to fly. So he had a helicopter crew shoot that whole sequence driving up in Washington or something.
Why are these
Those
guys so
helicopter
stupid?
shots are awesome.
I can make these most genius movies, but I'm scared to fly. What the fuck?
Everything is like
Nut up.
perfect. The way he
Maybe he
didn't
knows
want
something
to,
we don't.
he didn't want to like design a hotel. So he would use like everything is real reference. So the exterior of the hotel with the helicopter is a real location. That's a real hotel
Yeah.
in like Colorado. But then
It's
Dumb and
not.
Dumber
There's like,
is also-
there's like nothing filmed in
Calm.
Colorado.
That's the
I
hotel
looked
that they
it
go
up.
to in Dumb and Dumber also.
and
that
then,
when
they
but
get
you
to
don't see the
Aspen.
hedge maze. You don't see the
Mm-mm.
hedge maze in that helicopter shot. So later on, when you see the characters walking around outside by the hedge maze, that is a set. He rebuilt the exterior of the hotel, and it's just a facade. You can't go inside it. So he wanted to shoot the movie in order, which meant he had to maintain all of these sets throughout the entire shooting process. So you have an enormous exterior set. Then you have the Colorado room set. I believe that's that big set with the giant windows where he's typing in the staircase. Okay, that's a set with windows that have lights behind them that are so hot, they're mimicking
Yeah.
daylight, that they would continually burst
You
into
can
flames.
tell when you know you. Oh, really?
Yeah. Then he has,
That lighting was popping because you got to get that you got to get that light shining off the white snow. And if you don't, you've never really had snow in your life, have you? That shit is bright. It'll
there's no snow in this
blast
movie.
through the window. Yeah, but I'm saying the lighting was so perfect. Like it looked
Yes.
like it was all fucking real. It looked like real outside winter.
He's really good at on-set lighting.
Not enough
So,
nudity though.
2001, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, all the lights he would build into the set. And look, the best interior lighting there is you have a giant window and you just blast a shit ton of light through it. And then you add a couple of lights. Like that's the best lighting. He figured that out. And he would do it
Okay,
in all of his
sound.
movies. Yeah.
How'd he do sound? Because that freaking first time that the kid on his little big wheel, his little Bobby's World moment, where he's just going in circles and then he hits that carpet. Do 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 do. He goes from the carpet to the wood to the carpet to the wood, and it's like 6 different times, and it's the most satisfying sound. Was he just booming it?
It's like an ASMR thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just recording it.
It was just a boom mic though, or like what? He
Yeah.
just got that ear.
The
Well,
way it's shot is a
this
guy
movie
in
is like this
a guy's in a steady cam
invented
in a wheelchair for that sequence. So not only is
I
yes,
did that for my movie.
the steady you had a steady cam in a wheelchair or just a
You know who
wheelchair
else- you know
dolly?
who
Sorry,
else
just
did
a
that?
wheelchair.
Morbius
Yeah.
did that. He sat in a wheelchair for most of that movie.
Yeah,
No,
this
it was-
movie
was
uses
he
a
on
ton of
crutches?
steady cam.
Oh wait, no, you're right. Jared Leto
He sat in a wheel. He made him.
was wheeled around the set. Yeah,
I picture that's how
One of the
Adam did
coolest
it in
things
his
ever.
movie. Adam he's like, we need a
that's what I
wheelchair
mean
in
when
the
I was like,
budget.
we used a wheelchair.
And they're
That's
like,
what put
for
the
like
camera
a
on.
steady, for a steady cam. No, just to get me from crafty to set.
Awesome.
I need 6 interns to push me around.
Wasn't this the movie? Wasn't this the movie that the Steadicam was?
Invented?
Like, there's some technology was like invented and used on this movie for the first time, right?
No. The steady cam was used in a few films before this, but it had never
And
been
before
used
that,
to
it
this
was just
extent.
unsteady?
It was
Steadicam.
correct. It was, well, you had, before this, you had to actually lay down little train tracks called dolly tracks. And they're like little metal, like rails that the camera would then be put on a platform that would slide on the rails. And you couldn't go very long, but some people would do like 100-yard, 300-yard dolly track moves, but you couldn't get the 360 thing because you had this fucking rail. So if you went forward, you know, you would see a fucking rail on the ground, like a
Oh yeah, you
couldn't
you couldn't move in the direction that you were pointing at.
Correct.
So
unless you were zoomed in or
really
something,
laying down
or
rails fast or something.
So do I need to watch Dr. Sleepaway Camp or whatever that is?
Dr. Sleep is pretty dumb. It's the sequel.
It seems like a loose end, or they're trying to.
Gotta watch Dr. Sleep.
Do they explain stuff
to fully understand The Shining?
The Shining.
Equally good movies.
Like, is the kid grown up and now a superhero or what? Like, why isn't him and Carrie and Firestarter starting a fucking Avengers?
Look, it's a different artist making that movie, so it's not going to bring you any understanding.
Yes.
There are no answers, Ryan. We'll have to ponder the ending of The Shining forever.
There's always an answer.
We'll never know exactly what happened because it's it's purposely ambiguous, and you will never get your stupid,
sounds like you're just not good enough to write an
Star
ending.
Trek ending, fucking Big Bang Theory. Everything's all wrapped up for you.
Yeah, they say the ending's the hardest thing to write. So it sounds like this guy, if he's such a good writer and he can't even write an ending.
I'll tell you how he got in that fucking
Who didn't write
picture
an
frame.
ending?
Here's how he got. You want to know how he got in that
It's
photograph
open.
at the end?
It's ambiguous. It's open. Bitch, write
It's
an
not
ending.
ambiguous. They get away and he dies.
It's like a self-checkout. I ain't trying to write the movie, bro.
You're just
You write
confused by the picture, you fucking idiot.
Here's the thing about the picture.
That's not a
Here's
big
how he
deal.
got into the picture. You can see it. His head was cut off and placed on the photo. It's a different level of grain and detail versus the other people's faces. I mean, I think
he just got really good at Photoshop while they were
choppy
at
Photoshop.
He had a little glue.
He had a lot of time to learn Photoshop.
No, he had a little scissor. He had a little glue, and he would do a little photo editing while he was at his desk. Jack Nicholson, and he put his it'd be cool if they showed that picture, then they show like other pictures where he's drawing like boobs on the girls or like.
Yeah, no, this is what his wife.
Two people.
This is what his wife finds when she goes instead of papers that just say all work and no play. It's just this little craft project, him cutting out little heads and putting them on himself. And he's putting his head on sexy women's bodies.
Let's talk about enough about Kubrick. Okay. We talked enough about him. He's awesome. But
talk about Nicholson and that fucking bar
Nicholson,
scene,
baby.
Dude,
yeah.
The first bar scene when it
best scene in the movie.
Oh my God. The gold room, just we're going back to Kubrick, but that whole shot of him walking down the hall and then he just goes in and it's just empty gold room. Empty bar, and then he sits down, and all of a sudden there's this old little snake with arms serving him.
Before the scene also is a really great scene where he is confronted by Shelley Duvall, and she's like, "You hit him. You grabbed his arm. You left the bruises on him." And he's like, "What? I didn't do that. I didn't do that." And he's all
he was
freaked
literally
out.
asleep. She came in, woke him up because he was having a nightmare.
So
at his desk. So why did she think that he even hit him? Because
there's no one else
she woke his ass up.
There's no one else in the building. So,
then she finds out that there's like a crazy. Danny says there's a crazy lady who, because that's what happened. Is Danny went in room 237, and then
we'll get to the bar. We're talking to the bar. Okay,
yeah,
we're moving fast. All right.
Okay.
So
we're talking about what? Joe
Turkel is the bartender. This guy.
Joey
he's
Turk.
In a bunch of Kubrick movies. He's in The Killing actually, and he's also in Paths of Glory. But
same character.
Yeah,
this is one of the ghost scenes.
A haunting
where he's like interacting with the hotel, a person like an old guest in the hotel. It's like it's all like a ghost, but he's in it's like he walks into a room of ghosts.
There's one ghost for him to get started,
Yeah, but it's interesting.
And a friendly ghost. This is how the ghosts seduce you. They first give you a drink. They give you what you want.
They're kind of old-fashioned and like proper.
Enough said.
They're Jeevesy. They're kind of Jeevesy, and they're very like kind of polite and like composed and stuff like that. And it's kind of interesting.
It's
a really good it's a really good contrast between Jack going.
Yeah, that's not how I bartend. I tell people to
Jacko.
buzz off.
They call
dude.
him Jacko, right?
Yeah.
Jacko Lantern.
So he's going full Jacko, and then there's people being like, "Very good, sir."
Oh,
and that's like a very fun, like,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They-
'Cause they're all
nice
from
to you, They give you a
1921.
drink, but then they go, "Hey, you want a girl? We'll give you a little girl. You want a hot chick? You see her tits? You see her bush? How's a little kissy kiss?" Then you find out, oh man, these ghosts are racist. This is how it works.
Dang
They
it.
give you a drink, they give you a naked girl, and then you're like, oh man, these people hate black people. These ghosts are racist.
why do they hate black people?
Because they
Why
were
does
born
it-
in that time. It makes sense.
Because then you go to the bathroom
different
after
time. They
his
died at that time. I
apricot-
mean,
his apricot drink is spilled on him.
oh my
He
god,
doesn't-
why was that sucker so syrupy too? When that
Delbert
apricot
Grady-
drink,
You're
Delbert
talking
Grady
about when
drop-
Jeeves
drops
Grady
the N
says-
bomb. He drops the N bomb.
they both do
It was a
in the
different time.
bathroom. Because then he blames the kitchen staff, the guy, the other shiny. Which poor guy? What's his name?
Dick
The black
Hollery,
dude. Oh man,
Scatman Crothers.
he got done dirty.
He's so good.
For somebody who has
Well,
for somebody who has
okay, we're
telekinetic
jumping around, yeah.
perception, for somebody who has telekinetic perception, he kind of wasted it by getting stabbed
It's kind of a funny thing to take a plane and then rent a car
and then
like,
take a
like
plane,
this
rent a
multi-day
car, get a
journey.
snow cat. He took 3 different plane, car, snow cat, and then he's dead
Just
5 seconds
immediately
into the
get
hotel.
axe in the chest.
Yeah, it's like it's like a.
For somebody who can see the future
But-
and the past,
But he
and
saves them
ghosts
Jumping
because
around a
they
lot.
take
What was it?
they take the car back at the end of the movie. So ultimately he does save
Yeah, it
them
allows them to be
Escape.
saved.
because he destroys the
uh,
car. He destroys the
he's a
snow
great-
cat. He
great
destroys the radio. I love the scene when he breaks the radio and takes the little pieces out and like shakes
3
them in
of
his
them,
hand. What a satisfying little shot. Although every little detail in this movie is perfect. I mean, back to the bar scene. I mean, the light underneath the bar, glowing up like that. Joe
Beautiful.
Turkel is just so nice. Joe Turkel and Philip Stone, who plays Delbert Grady, the waiter.
The murderer.
These 2 guys have the best scenes in the movie. They're each in like 1 scene or 2 scenes. Like, I'm sure it was extremely hard working on this film. I'm sure it was like a pain in the ass, but I'm assuming they were in and out faster than
They're
anyone.
probably day players for sure. Yeah, they came in probably for a day, 2 days.
Could be weeks. Could be
One
weeks.
scene.
Could be
Oh, yeah,
weeks.
because of all it takes.
With Kubrick and also shooting in order, it could be weeks. But
Oh,
hey,
true. Because then you have to wait until you're actually back in the act 3, real time.
That the Grady guy is really good because he looks like an old butler. He literally looks like Ask Jeeves.
He
He's in
was.
But the way like this
He
movie's
was
so,
like
well
he was
shot.
a butler.
then he
though.
gets so
But, like-
evil. He gets so evil so quickly and starts saying.
Well, he's
the
like
N-word.
bumbling and kind of doting and stuff at first, and he like from like what you're seeing, like this looks exactly like that kind of butler. And then when it cuts in the bathroom, when he like gets to the point of like what the hotel, like this is when the hotel
Yeah.
starts like actively preying on or like being like, okay, let's do this. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
I
They, like,
corrected
actively
her.
connect with him.
Grady?
I corrected. They're possessing.
but Grady, yeah, when
I
when they cut to that
corrected
close up,
them.
Grady looks suddenly
I
he's not like
corrected them.
doting
He's
anymore,
evil.
or
Yeah, he's
he
scary.
looks like sinister.
Well,
it's
once
just
you
this
hear his
actor's
name,
face,
the
like,
second
works
you
in-
hear his
works
name-
in it works different in
not
in
his
each
face,
composition. It works
Adam.
differently just
It's
by
not his
character,
face.
how well
Hey,
it's cast.
weirdo. Hey, weirdo.
He
It's
does
called
both
acting.
of these things.
It's not like
No, he's acting the same.
His face was friendly. His face was scary. Listen to
He's
this guy.
he's pretty much acting the same in both parts.
No, he's
I don't even
not.
think it was. I don't
but
even
the
think it was
What are you
camera
that.
talking
angle
about? He does a complete
allows us to
character
see
change.
him.
He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I spilled your drink."
He's still
Ooh. And then he's
proper.
like,
He's still very
and then
like
he's like
proper
not
and to the point
moving, and he's
stuff.
like
I
scary.
corrected them. I
Hey
corrected
William,
her,
your mic is spiking a little bit. Okay.
and then I had,
Yeah.
and then I had to
I'm
correct
spiking
the
you out of
daughters.
fucking picture.
No, I think this is a good, interesting thing to say.
His face works when he's friendly, and whatever, dude. You're crazy.
Just
I
no, it's like
think you're
really
both-
well shot for that actor's for
It
that
is well
performance.
shot. I think you're both
because
crazy.
it like
course it's well
communicates it.
I think it's
like,
crazy. You're both crazy
you know.
because it's the writing. The second he hears his name, Jack Nicholson looks at him and he's like, "Great."
exactly. It's the character.
So it's not. Yeah, it's the writing. It's the character. It's not how he looked. It doesn't matter. Anybody could have played that role, I guess, but probably not.
Danny
as good
DeVito
as
could have played that role. Fucking Jackie Chan could have played that role. Imagine Jackie
Schwarzenegger.
Chan.
Imagine
standing in a
Jackie and
suit.
Swartz.
Maybe I'm not thinking of like the
collected,
face, but
and
like
he-
the performance.
No, because then this whole
'Cause
thing
it's the
brings it
same.
together because then
Oh,
it's literally
sorry.
the haunted house is literally showing itself
it's a
to
house
Jack
of
Nicholson.
horrors. Let's talk about how
And it's
scary the
lit, but
house
they go,
gets.
but he goes, hey, you're an axe murderer. He goes, you killed your wife and your kids and chopped them into little pieces. You're dead. And it doesn't even phase Jack Nicholson.
Now, the other thing about this is in the beginning of the movie, the
He's
guy
fully
doing the
lost it.
Oh,
interview,
he's
he
phased,
tells him,
dude.
it was Charles Grady who killed his wife and kids. And that waiter says his name is Delbert Grady.
So what? That's
So
his
are they
brother?
the same character?
I thought it was the same character.
This is
But Jack-
this leads to a theory of reincarnation. So there's an idea that Jack Nicholson isn't just absorbed into the photo at the end of the movie, is that there was another person who looked like him at that time, literally in the photo. And that he was, because he says, I had a sense of
Hey, that
deja
kind of
vu,
works with
like
your
I had
thing,
been.
Ryan.
I had a sense of deja vu, like I had been here. Well, that doesn't mean he's dead. It just means he's
Oh
reincarnated.
yeah, deja vu. Jack
So-
is really good in that scene with the butler, like, and he's like lit perfectly. He looks like he's like gone and completely insane, or like is like on mega drugs.
Yes,
That's what
he's
I'm-
taking
that's
it
what I'm
back. He's
saying.
like, this
So
is
he has
like,
like an highlight glow
He
thing.
literally, the guy
he
goes, I'm a
just is like,
ghost. I'm
what?
talking to a ghost, and he's like hardly phased by it.
no, he's
like,
freaked
he's-
out because I'm talking
but he
to a
isn't freaked-
killer.
He isn't freaked out that there's a fucking room full of people in tuxedos and stuff. He doesn't
He's
even
not freaked
bat
out
an
by
eye
a
at-
bartender giving
He's
him alcohol.
losing
That there's
Yeah,
literally
he's
no alcohol in the
hallucinating.
building. So what was he drinking?
Nothing. It was
Ectoplasm.
just ghost cum.
Ecto cooler.
That'd be
It
cool.
shows the bartender under the table when he goes to mix the drink. He's just just nutting into a little ectoplasm.
Are the ghosts real in the movie?
Yeah, and no. Our ghosts, no. Yes and no. They're hallucinations.
So there's a
It's the
scene when he
Shining.
gets
He explains what the Shining is. It's all real. It's all happening.
gets
or
locked
it happened,
in
or it's about to
to the
happen.
freezer, and then Delbert Grady talks to him through the wall or through the door, and then unlatches the lock. Now,
Yeah, it's telekinetic powers. There's supernatural things that are real. We know that the Shining is real.
ghosts
So they're
are
all real. Well, he says, the guy, when he's explaining it to
Blood,
the kid, he
the
goes,
blood in the elevator is real.
yes,
The little skeletons that
because
Winifred sees when she's running around are real.
maybe not when
Wendy.
she sees him. Anything the kid
know,
sees is real though,
I'm
or it hasn't happened yet, or it's gonna happen, or it did happen. Like that's what the guy says. You're seeing the past.
What about Adam's dad? Was he real
He was real bad
in
at
that
raising
hotel
his
room,
kid.
hanging out with that other guy, dressed like a bear or like a boar? Adam's dad. Nice cameo, Mr. Bowers making a little cameo in a movie.
Were you pumped to say that? I feel like you thought of that during the movie, and then you're like,
He thought of that like 7 months ago, and he's like, "We got to watch The Shining," and
yeah.
just so I can say
Your dad is in the movie. Of
Dude.
course, I'm going to talk about it.
which
He's
character.
just a cool. He's the guy in the cool outfit, the furry outfit,
What?
pleasuring a cool dude.
Shut the
Oh
fuck up.
yeah, is that who was that was supposed to be a president, right?
I don't know.
Because he said the guy when he's giving the tour, he goes, "We had 3 presidents here.
He says
We
there's
had a bunch of
well, he also
celebrities."
says
But that dude looked like he looked a politician. He looked like we were supposed to know who that was supposed to be.
the irony is like he goes presidents, royalty, all the best people, and it's like murderers
Yeah.
and like psychopaths and fucking ghosts and goblins.
dude
It's like, what kind of
getting-
hotel are you running?
Some dude getting banged
Well-
by a Donnie Darko bunny
You got
costume.
guys in furry
That
suits
happened. That's
blowing
one
men.
thing that happened.
bad furry suits,
It was
dude.
a good
Gross,
party.
weird. It looked lit. The gold room.
Also,
dude,
like, how
popping
are you
off.
giving a blowjob in that mask?
Well, here's
He's-
his mouth.
you
Is,
want- you
his
wanna
mouth
find
is
out?
open.
You want to find out?
The dog mouth is open.
Yeah.
No, it's like a rubber mask.
These dogs is barking, dude.
I shove
Although
my
a
dick through
dog's
that little
snout
hole in the
would-
mask.
Adam,
It's
Adam,
Very,
how
like,
would you
well
do it?
designed for a blowjob? I guess.
How would you do it, Adam? How would you wear a dog costume and blow, guy? How'd you do it?
I mean, I would.
You probably
have
have
a
it
hole in the
backwards like his
mask.
microphone. Popping it
Yeah,
up,
totally.
popping his peas. It's a little callback.
I
Oh,
mean, this.
pee-pee.
Yeah. What do you think about this dog blowjob scene? What is
This
that?
is what I'm saying. I'm asking questions here.
It's like the
William, Mr.
Dark
Movie
Secrets
Guy,
of the
Nobody else is
hotel.
wearing a furry costume.
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
like an Eyes
that's what I'm
Wide
saying,
Shut
let's talk about it.
thing. Is he supposed to be? But he looks like he's supposed to be somebody we're supposed to like. He looks like he's supposed to look like a president or a famous person. That was the vibe I got just in that quick little shot. Not that it was just some ghost.
Famous person like
I don't know. I
Fuck.
don't. It felt like I was supposed to know more about that scene, or like,
Fatty Arbuckle.
was it just some random ghost getting blown?
Well, it's like the elites are
question.
fucking and sucking
Well, yeah,
just
I
like
get Eyes
anyone
Wide
else.
Shut. Just like
You know,
anyone else. In
Ghostbusters has
musky
a scene
dog
where
costumes.
of a ghost giving a blowjob, and this scene has or this movie has a scene of a ghost getting a blowjob.
It's progressive.
Just pointing that out.
What about the
Could be a
three
double
skeletons
feature.
sitting on the sofa and Wendy sees
That's
them?
pretty spooky.
This for me is the weakest part of the movie.
I did. That part's pretty bad.
The
Not bad,
Disneyland haunted house. Just
Literally, that's what that felt like. It felt like the Pirates Cave that when you drive on the
Yeah.
boat, Pirates of the Caribbean.
it's pretty cool when she sees the elevator with the blood pouring out of it. Apparently that took like months to shoot and like was really hard to set up. And
How many gallons?
it was like an insane amount of blood. And
What kind of blood? Human?
Kubrick would always say, like, he kept saying, like, it doesn't look real. He has to look real. But yeah,
Yeah, he
Wendy's just
ended up
going
looking
off at this
real.
point. Jack Nicholson with the axe, but busting the door down. I mean, this is just an amazing sequence.
What's the first one he says? Because he gets through the first door and then she goes to
Here's
the.
Johnny.
That's the second one. What's the first thing he says?
Oh, he says, honey,
I don't-
I'm home or
Something like that, right?
They're watching all this TV and shit. See, this is a little dated.
Oh,
You
no
know?
shit. It was made in 1980.
What I was
That's how
thinking,
dates work.
for me personally, what I would have done in this sequence if I directed it, I would have had him do a little Conan O'Brien reference and be like, put his head through the door and then go, in the year 2000. Or
That's how the movie ends.
that would have crushed. That
And
would have just
everybody-
blown
and
the.
And then the last 20 minutes is just the funniest comedy ever. Like just the funniest.
and
You know,
Conan-
what the fuck, Kubrick?
And then Andy Richter's over there blowing Conan O'Brien
In a bunny sock.
in a bear suit.
In a
What's another good
goddamn
catchphrase?
Donnie
I
Darko
was-
bear suit.
It's like, what are the good catchphrases? What should he be saying? Like, as if
Why did he say Johnny though?
that's
Is that a
Johnny,
Johnny
Carson's.
Carson, right? He says,
That's
"Here's
what
Johnny."
Ed McMahon would say. Here's Johnny. He would do like live from New York.
Yeah,
it's
like what?
Saturday
Yeah, yeah. What
night."
if they're? What if they just were a different household that watched Mad TV?
Or if he would, should he do a
Stewart?
little,
He does a
you
Stewart
like the
impression.
sauce? You like the
Yeah.
sauce?
And she's like, "What?"
You like the
And,
sauce?
and Kubrick's like, "You know what? Let's do 42 more takes of that."
Do a little Office
How many
Space.
doors? How many doors did they go through? How many takes did
Stapler,
that scene take?
yeah. I'm gonna need you to come in this weekend.
Breaks a door.
Big
Wanna know how I
Lebowski?
got these scars. Like what? How does he predict? Give me an
What's
anger
the
management quote.
I never seen Anger Management. I've only seen
Adam,
the GIF.
give me a Hubie Halloween quote. He pops his head through the
Happy
window.
Gilmore?
Axe comes through and he goes,
I've made a lot of boners in my time. There's a really
the
good
whole boner montage in the with his head sticking through the door. And I don't think
He
this
sticks
is
his
a
boner through the door.
I'm gonna correct those boners.
He should have. What if he jumped up, stuck his dick through the door, and went shwing?
Swing.
He just had his like Jack Nicholson hairy 70s cock. Just
Breaks
a
through the
fat
door.
dick.
Same haircut. His
Does
Just a
pubes look like
fat
his hair.
veiny dick.
Does the Carson's
What?
telepathic thing.
And Kubrick is like, we need a better dick, and he's like looking at hundreds of guys' dicks trying to cast it.
Fuck
He's
it,
like,
I'll
I
build
need
it
a-
in
I
studio.
gotta get it
I'm gonna
right.
build
I
it
gotta
in
get
studio.
exactly
yeah,
right.
it's like 2001. He builds a miniature like giant cock,
I'm
Replica.
just really thorough.
like the
in how I
baby at
make
the end
these
of 2001. It's just a giant dick in like a foggy vacuum,
I don't
glowing.
get that one. I haven't seen it.
Fuck yeah, bro.
It ain't no Hubie.
Catchphrases. Hey, here's Johnny. They do a great callback to
He just
this in Problem Child, and that scene is then the scene in Cape Fear that Max Cady is watching.
What?
That's cool.
What? That's the perfect response to that anecdote.
Oh yeah, the guy Robert De Niro in Cape Fear loves Problem Child. He goes, that scene is so awesome.
And Nick Nolte's like, God damn it, I can't see the fucking movie. This guy is smoking a cigar. Yeah.
Many, I
pretty good,
think, I bet
Nolte.
you that was like very
What
common
about Nick
experience
Nolte
when the
instead of
Problem
Jack
Child
Nicholson?
came out. Yeah.
God damn it, Wendy,
What
give me
about
the bat. Wendy.
All
Give me
work
the
and
bat.
no play make Nicky a dull boy.
He'd be
Now, you
racist.
can't not.
Like 48 hours.
And then the whole movie, if what the fuck's his name? What are we talking? Nick Nolte played the character. The reason he would go crazy is not because of like cabin fever. It's because he hit his head on a motorcycle accident. And then the second half of the movie is just crazy.
Are you thinking of Gary Busey?
What's the difference?
One hit his head in a motorcycle accident, one didn't.
One was
Gary
voted
Busey would be good
sexiest
in this
man
movie.
alive.
Stephen King wanted like a pussy actor who would then become
It's true.
like violent. It was supposed to be like a little bitch kind of guy.
Jacko
Like,
is good because he looks like somebody who is going to go insane and murder his family.
Yeah, like
He
he's not
already
happy
looks
with
like
his
that.
life. Yes, he just naturally. And he was thinning hair, but he was still growing it out. It was perfect cast. Sure. He
Yeah,
was a
Kubrick
bitch,
said
though. He was a little punk the whole
Kubrick
time.
would always compare him to James Cagney, like a old fashioned, over the top 1940s kind of character actor, like huge
that
big
bar scene. Oh,
performance.
dude, that bar scene. Back to that when he's walking down the hallway. When
He's
Jack
like,
Nicholson is
"Fuck."
and he's
He's
just
like swinging his arms.
He's just
I
like
never put a hand on him except for that one time, and she won't forgive me.
But that just those little fucking. He's losing
The
it.
ghosts are playing
It's
mind
so good.
games. They're fucking with you. They're fucking with his family. They're tearing it
Well,
apart.
he's already there. He's already weak because he's like obviously he had it. That was a big problem 5 months ago. That drinking was a huge negative catalyst in his life. That's why he had to quit drinking. He's clearly not happy. That's probably why he did it. He hated his job, so he quit it because he wants to be a writer. He's going through it.
Wendy's
He's going through like a
talking to the
midlife
doctor.
crisis.
Remember when Wendy's talking to the doctor and she's like, and then he just sort of hit him a little, it forced him a little too hard
Yeah.
and broke his
it was
arm.
one
And
of
then the doctor's just
she
like
goes,
staring
it was
at
one
her
of
in
those.
horror.
It was just one of those things, you know. It was like an accident, and then describes her husband drunkenly abusing her kid.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just one of those things.
and he never drank again.
I've thought about how hard it must be to be a parent as an alcoholic.
Yeah,
Like
tough,
that
man.
seems like
I got 3
it's
kids.
impossible, and you have like, and you're like to not do it, like have things be really fucked up.
Now
And
you
also,
figure
like,
out
just
how
also,
to
like,
drink,
hard.
man. Now you figure out how to
It's
get
really
through the
hard.
day.
Because you're always like
Hey, let's clap
lack
it out
of
for the
sleep and shit.
drunk daddies out there.
Drunk daddies, you're doing a good job.
You're working hard. You're waking up hungover. The kid's blabbering. It can't be easy.
You're just constantly irritated.
Totally.
That's what I would be like. That's my biggest thing is the hangovers. I'm like just fed up with people.
Love the
And
scene
imagine
of the little
having
kid.
kids
You have to be
screaming.
like a good parent.
If my kid
Remember
was
when the
red
kid-
rum,
Not just
I'd be
like
"Bro,
screaming,
I'm-
but you have to like
I
do
go,
a good
"Bro,
job as a parent.
Remember
my
when
kid
the
comes
kid
in red
goes
rum
to
and
his,
I go, bro, I'm gonna need some rum. You know what I'm saying? This gets crazy.
true.
This gets wild, dude. Give me some red wine and some rum. We're mixing this bitch.
what about UB40? They could have been like red rum, and they're all dressed up like the little kid.
Okay, is he possessed? Does he got
That's,
multiple personality?
That's
Also,
what if
Tony's
instead
not
of
bad.
what if instead of red rum that he wrote Nilbog? That'd have been cool, right?
That'd be fucking freaky.
What'd you
dude.
say?
Goblin. That's like troll.
From Troll 2.
Oh,
Nilbog. It's Goblin. That's the name of the town, and then it's a big twist.
What
They
if he
realize
wrote
it's Goblin.
Regin?
say it out loud
What's that
backwards.
Regin.
What's that?
REGG.
Yeah, but how to say it the right way? I get it backwards,
What's-
but
Wait, hold on. What's the last letter?
say it forward though.
What if you said tag off?
Say it forward.
What if he said
I don't know. I'm bad.
tag
at doing
off?
this
Hey, what do you think? Hey, what do you
Mada.
thing.
What do you actually? This is
Tag off,
relevant.
see off,
This is relevant.
Mada.
Last night, my buddy Nick and I are. Somebody clip that and play it reverse. And then we're gonna cancel William's ass.
Oh man.
You can say
Um,
things backwards.
Bada got me.
You can say, yeah, that is pretty backwards, bro.
Bada
Real
sounds
I thought of
backwards-
that joke in
backwards
the
way
movie
to-
too, Adam. Fuck yeah, bro.
I know that's what you do.
But hey, okay, is Tony bad? Tony doesn't seem like a bad guy. He's just hanging
Tony's
out.
helping
and
him. In the
Kind
book,
of.
Tony's him in the future.
Tony
Think
is
about that
just
shit.
his 'cause
That
he's a
makes
little kid,
sense.
so
Is that
Tony
really?
just
Is that
hit-
really it?
Tony is what he
Yeah.
thought the Shining. Tony is his Shining. He just doesn't. It's like the voice he can hear.
No, that's
He's
He's
a
a little
his-
he's a little boy who lives in his mouth. Come on.
He lives in
Who
his
doesn't have
finger.
one of those?
Oh,
Michael
there's
Jackson
theories
watched
watched
that
the
it's
movie. He's
sexual
like
abuse.
Michael
Okay,
Jackson
so
was
hold
doing
up.
he's watching the movie, he's doing his laundry, and then he hears a little boy lives in my mouth, and he like perks up and like runs to the TV and like rewinds it. What the just like starts
starts spinning around in a circle.
what about The Shining? And it's
You just
Michael
hear-
Jackson running
just
around
hear
his
a
house
slap.
looking for a little kid he's trying to rape. And the little kid's run around a field and
Oh,
taking
Lord.
steps backwards, tricking him.
It's Neverland Ranch instead of the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's scary, dude. But I
That's
don't know.
honestly would be truly. And he does a moonwalk backwards to cover up
Yes.
his.
He's moonwalking backwards through the field. Makes no sense. It's like a Wayne's Brother movie.
Breaks through with an axe. Shimona. Instead of hey Johnny. Here's Johnny. Shimona.
His like writing is just hee. Well, it's just typed out.
It just says he. Shimona. That's
That'd
coming
be
to
tight.
come now.
Just playing a
Oh, boy.
regular husband that's going.
He like goes into the bath. He goes in room 237. It's like a 4-year-old boy. And then he's horrified when he turns 14.
Yeah, that's what
He
the
just-
go.
in the mirror, he's like scared. He's like, like it
Yeah.
starts vomiting.
Just a normal adult, like a young,
Yeah.
attractive adult.
Michael Jackson. He
Macaulay
is-
Culkin's
Man,
there
that
for some
room-
reason.
R.I.P. baby.
I think the room 237
Rest
scene
in pedophile.
is probably the best part of the movie. I would say
What part?
it really sticks with you.
Which
Rest in
part?
pedophile.
It's a beautiful.
Yeah, rest in pedophile
beautiful-
of MJ.
The bath scene, the old lady.
It's iconic.
Oh my god.
baby.
what-
The,
This is a witch thing, by the way.
the color
This is
scheme.
what a witch is.
That's not a
witch
witch.
is an old lady pretending to be a hot babe
In the movie
Yeah.
The
Until it's
Witch,
too
yes, a
late,
scene
until
happens
you're
again.
making out with her or whatever.
Well, and so what's going on with 237?
That's what witches
Because
do. They
This is what
Drink
drunk.
blood.
This is a drunk hookup. Also, this is how it works.
what
You know,
was
you're
going
making out
on?
with your
there?
chick.
one night stand.
You're kissing her. She's pretty. Your arms are pretty wide, holding on to her, but you don't really notice. And then
Real shallow house situation.
once you bust in
Yeah.
your pants, you realize, like, I need to get out of here.
What if
Take
instead
her-
of room 237, it was room 420 and the old lady smoked him out?
That'd be
He
tight.
opens the door and just it's Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, and he just smokes him out.
Wayne's Brothers.
And
Where
that's
are
why
you?
he's
We
looking.
need
That's
you.
why he's acting like that the rest
Scary
of the
movie.
movie.
Scary
Just
movie
high as hell.
666.
Scary movie 6,666. How many are we on with these scary
And
movies?
1-6.
This is our third.
No, I mean the actual
Oh, no,
at least
fourth,
4
sorry.
scary
Fourth
movies.
is
the weigh-ins. How many scary movies
Oh,
are
I see,
there?
I see.
Too many.
I
There's
don't
a
know.
Not enough.
real who's on first situation going on.
So his
The
kid-
bathroom was beautiful. All the color schemes in every freaking room you walk into is gorgeous. The overhead of the maze, when he's looking down at it and they're walking through it, that scene is insane. How they do that? It's like the
Yeah,
only
that's cool.
CGI.
Yeah,
It's just
like
composited
compositing.
two images. Yeah.
But
But he does it with no
I
grain.
think symmetry is really.
He kinda
good
That's
figured
for
out
why
how
it
to
looks
do
like that.
Symmetry is good for horror. Wouldn't you say?
No, mazes are.
Doesn't
Hubie,
matter.
remember the maze scene in Hubie Halloween, Adam? Chilling. Kid getting pulled through
Yeah, that was a scary scene. That's about equal. I feel like
the corn maze. Why do people make mazes out of plants? It's creeping me out.
I've never
freaking
been in
creep
one of
me
those
out.
mazes.
Too scared.
I don't live by a cornfield. My
Sure.
maze is the jungle of the city.
I don't live by a
Wow.
cornfield.
I don't go to mazes, corn mazes, field mazes.
Bro,
On
you
a
haven't
hayride.
Subway
lived,
tunnels.
dude. You
It's
haven't
kinda
even
like a
lived.
cornfield in the city.
Nah, just go down to the bodega on the corner and go up and down the aisles.
Oh shit!
That's your cornfield, man.
This is me at Trader
That's your
Joe's. I'm
cornfield.
lost. I'm just like crying, running around with an axe. I can't get out.
You're frozen in the frozen section. It's just dead, froze. So why did he sit down? He just got
Shopping,
tired.
people.
I don't think he would. I don't think I would have
only had
thought of the footstep thing, by the way, that Danny thinks of.
No, you would have definitely died.
I would've
No,
died,
dude. You
for
would not
sure.
have even made it out of the house. What are you talking about? If you had a Shining Adam, can you imagine Adam with the Shining? He's just talking. Actually, that would make sense. All his flights of fancy.
Yeah,
He's just talking. Adam, it's like
He
Adam,
does
who you
have the
talking to?
Shining.
just a cool dude talking to me in my head.
The Shining is just autism, right?
Yeah, basically.
exactly.
Say something with your mind.
Or something
ever
that
see a
only
little-
children have. I feel like this is a
Also,
very
how
only
come-
child sort of movie.
I've got a question. How come the
The twins don't seem to be doing so hot in this movie. They're
well
getting
they've
killed.
been dead they've been chopped up for years, but the
Adam has the Shining.
guy,
He sees these two little girls chopped up in the hallway. He's like, "Oh, excuse me." He's just like carefully
Yee.
stepping over them.
I'm
Someone
just
should
in room
clean this mess
230. I'm just in 238.
Trying to get to my hotel.
Excuse me. Just
Trying to get to
banging
that
on the door in
game room. Have
238.
you
We
seen the
guys
game
yelling.
room?
Dude, that
You seen
game,
the game
room's
room?
popping off.
Yeah, I want to go to the game room, play some games.
No, I'm kind of like Danny. I feel like, and you guys are like the twins.
That's what
it
we're
feels
saying.
Like doing this podcast.
I've got a question. How come they didn't talk with their minds more?
Like, hey man, what's going on?
Yeah, why didn't Scatman Crothers
Why did he need to
shine with
phone? Yeah,
Danny
all the time?
just to see what was going on at the
Hey,
house?
he's like,
at the hotel.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, buddy? Just talking.
Well,
I guess because it's a child, that's probably
expensive.
pretty invasive.
Well, can you send a message to my grandma? She lives in Florida. First of all, we got to talk about Scatman Crothers' home pad. Okay, this guy's a cook
Who?
in Colorado.
Dude, oh my
And
god,
he has
what a
this
dope
beautiful
ass
little winter vacation home in Florida. Beautiful
the
pajamas.
zoom, the shot of the TV with the
It's
picture
one
in
of
the
the best
background.
TV watching scenes.
That gorgeous ass
movie, I feel
African lady in the picture, and then it does the same shot but reversed of him sitting on the bed, and it does the reveal. Oh my god, that's just
Awesome.
it looks so cozy.
He's a
but also-
bachelor. He should have like 2 or 3 bitches in his room. A couple of baby mamas.
Amen.
God, he's got silk sheet. He's just chilling, dude. Nice
Should be just-
house.
Just slow jerking it, cranking it. He's got a
But
nice little goon room.
so he's aware of the Shining. He's aware that he has unique abilities, but he's not like he's just a cook at a hotel.
He also should
Like
be aware
better
that this
your life,
hotel is
bro.
horrifying and
David
full
Blaine.
of ghosts. He should know the
Yes.
hotel is extremely dangerous. And he's just
Well,
like,
he's the
"Oh, well,
groundskeeper.
he's a cook.
I mean, like he's like the guy. He takes care of the hotel because of his Shining. So he's
He's the
fine with it.
groundskeeper of the ghosts.
Didn't he also say they can't hurt you? Because the ghosts can't hurt you. They can just
True,
unlock
only
doors.
his father can hurt him.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes the
important.
ghosts are tangible when they unlock the thing, but then this movie doesn't make
Right.
sense.
Oh, so Jack was
What
the
if
one
Danny
that
unlocked
grabbed
it,
him.
Ryan?
I was thinking that weird
Sure, there
scene
you
where
go.
he goes into his dad's room to get his fire truck, and his dad's
Just
supposed to
sitting
be
there?
sleeping, but he's like
Yeah.
sitting
Love
on
the
the
scene. I
bed.
wanted to talk about this earlier, but you two were jabbering on.
I've
Okay,
barely
we'll talk about
talked
it now,
in
you
this
little
episode,
baby
so-
bitch.
Adam, go
Yes.
off.
You little
Give us a
fucking
little Adam
baby.
talk. Give us a little Adam talk.
I mean, what the fuck? Oh
This
yeah,
is
the
you,
scene.
This is
It's
you
like-
and your son.
basically
Your
like-
son is like, Dad, what's going on?
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get my truck, my little
Yeah.
fire truck.
It's like a very creepy scene. You know, it's like an alcoholic. It's basically like a child going into his like alcoholic abusive dad's bedroom, but it just because of like the soundtrack and shit. It has actually that scene could be a pretty funny. See, like if their score was not in there, I feel like that scene could be from like a Wes Anderson
Like
movie or
silent.
something.
Yeah, like
But-
flat, just room tone.
Yeah, it'd be funny if it was if it had no score. But
Maybe
he
hear a
goes in
little
there, and
wind
then
out the
he sits
window.
on his lap. Danny's amazing in this movie. He's really good in this
He
scene.
truly is. Did he do anything else after?
No.
And then like having this
One
scene
and
where,
done,
like
baby.
where Jack is being really intense and Danny's playing it like so well. And then, but like that's
The
where
music is gorgeous.
Jack's
So the
arm
music's the
is
best thing about the movie.
in that scene. Yeah, it's
Bella
good. No, it's a good
Bartok.
scene.
Music for
course.
strings, Bella Bartok. It's a 5-track.
But that's where Jack
little-
is holding him and where his bruise is and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he starts jerking his son off. Here, let me make you feel good.
people think it's like a
His father
Sexual
is
abuse.
just in despair and he's depressed. His life is
He's been depressed. That's why, yeah. And now he's sober.
look,
That's the thing is like
he's
he's like
supposed to be
sleeping
the
till
character.
11:30. He's like getting breakfast in bed.
Well, this caretaking job doesn't seem to
Awesome dad.
have any work. He's not doing shit in the building. I mean, like I
He-
see Wendy
he's
walking
not-
around
he's
with
just how
He's not writing either. He's
he's house sitting.
he's throwing a ball against the wall and stuff. Like
he's realizing things haven't worked out.
he's a
You know,
cool
he's-
dad.
He's like
He's snapping.
a lot of people say like this is the story of a guy who moved to Orange County, you know, and it just he's
Started
trapped
off
in the
trying to write a
wilderness and
book
he
in
doesn't
a
like
shed.
he's in the winter of his life now. And that's
Living in a shed. We're
the life we all
recording a
leave.
podcast.
Yeah.
What, Adam? What if your wife listened to your podcast for our podcast for the first time, and it's just you over and over saying, "All work and no play make Adam a dull boy." All work. That'd be the new.
Yeah.
I
There's
just
nobody-
want to say in the movie,
Why are you guys sitting like that?
Wendy is given because I'm ready to suck.
It's comfortable.
Right. No. So in the movie, Wendy brings a tray of food to Jack. And earlier in the podcast episode, I
This is
saw
month
Adam's
one.
wife hand him a tray of food of a
Yeah,
lunch,
right.
and then he was eating it.
That's
and he's
true.
literally dressed like Jack Nicholson. He's got the
He
flannel
is
shirt,
wearing the
with
flannel
the
and, he,
t-shirt, and his like sleeves rolled up, working from home.
and he yelled at her when
That's true.
he yelled at his wife
Yeah.
when she brought the food. I'm trying to fucking
Well,
write.
she-
Trying to
fucked it
podcast.
up.
When you hear the click clack of my
She didn't
mic
do it right.
stand not being put together correctly, I'm recording.
If only this man had a podcast to get his feelings out, or a little internet, you know, he could have become like
He hated his life.
Alex
man. He didn't want a
Jones. He
kid.
could have been broadcasting.
You're just trying to chill and get pussy from chicks and tubs.
Oh,
you know?
he also
He's a-
hasn't been laid. He also hasn't been laid in like 6 months. When he talks to the bartender, he goes, "I'm having a little spermatozoa problem."
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's impotent.
No, his wife they're just not in love anymore. He's angry. He's like depressed and sad, and he's not hooking up with his wife. She's trying to do her best effort. Like this whole
Oh,
trip
okay.
is them trying to get their life back grounded and like back on track and like move
and he's
forward.
like immediately like
Literally, it's like
kicking
it's a
around and shit.
restart. He quit his job or he
never
doesn't
said
have the
that.
job. No, I know. This is my opinion.
This is it.
it's a good opinion. Right?
He also
But
tells her
she's
like,
coming out. It's
"You're
month
gonna
one,
love
and
it."
she's
She kind of
she's
doesn't
coming
really have
out-
any agency.
she's
on.
trying to
He's
make
just-
the not at all. She doesn't at all. But she's
It's
coming
his
out with like
ideas.
Trey. She's trying to make the best of it. She's like asking to go on walks around the ground. She's bringing him food, and he's just like
Oh, I
going
can't. I don't know
crazy.
if I can go on a walk. I think I should need to get some writing done.
She's
And then
putting
it shows
effort
him
in.
throwing a ball against a wall.
Poor girl.
So-
Poor wife. Poor mother. Her son is telekinetic or whatever. He's got the shining. She has no idea what's going on with that. He's talking to himself, holding knives, saying red rum, writing murder in the mirror. And then her husband's writing this. She's the truest victim out of all of this.
No,
Well,
I mean,
actually,
she
the
kinda-
cook
it's kind
is
of her
the cook's
fault
the
too.
truest victim.
She kind of
Kind of her fault.
How?
you know?
She's
Stephen-
not strong enough. What?
Stephen King
She's in
wanted
an
her to be-
she
abusive
wasn't a
relationship.
good enough partner. She wasn't being good enough. Like she didn't try
She
hard
was a
enough.
cunt.
Oh, she deserved to be hit.
interrupting his writing sessions like that.
Yeah,
He's
she was
getting. He wrote that book
She was busting his balls.
would be an avant-garde masterpiece now that he's like murdered the whole. He went on a killing spree or tried to like. They would sell that at like head shops in San Francisco and
Yeah.
stuff to be like, read the crazy ramblings
Barnes
of the
and
guy
Noble.
who went on a killing spree at the hotel and froze to death. Like
Chopped him up and then froze.
Totally.
it'd be in like the edgy section of the bookstore for like goth teens. Like, whoa, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And look at this page. It's like he spelled it wrong. This is cool. I'm gonna
He did
print
it.
this
He
out
did
my
it in
dorm room walls.
reverse. Reverse
You do kind of
triangle.
get I love that scene because it is kind of like you get the experience of flipping through the book because she's just turning page after page and you're
Yeah.
seeing
Different ways.
it's like that book, like you've read that book basically because of how she does it.
Yeah, it's
But
like
yeah,
oh,
and
I'm
it's
reading
also
a book.
only
A
one.
book and-
It's
it's a book
also
within a
one
movie.
sentence.
It's a
It's
book
like a
within
free.
a
It's
movie.
like, hey, I'm getting a free little book out of this movie.
Hey, hold up.
Exactly. I read.
Yeah, what's the latest thing you? Well, I listened to it and it's kind of an audiobook. It's the scene from The Shining where she's going through the pages. I've been listening to that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
couldn't
was
write
that a
anything
good?
else.
was a
Thanks, guys.
I love the shot
That
of
was a
him just
good-
typing, and you think he's getting work done.
You can
just
tell
look-
he's
Yeah,
typing the
turns
same thing
out-
over and over. If you listen to it, he's actually typing the same thing over and over. You get he's hitting the same ones. I'm sure he's directed to, but
Well, you don't know if he's
if you walked in on that's
writing
not how
no work
somebody
and no play makes Shaq.
no, you don't know what he's writing, but I know, it's iconic. So he's writing that. When I watched it, it wasn't a surprise because this movie's old as fuck. But if you watch it, that I'm saying is acting. He's actually typing the same stuff. He's not just randomly tapping across the keyboard. And if you walk in on somebody and they're typing like that, it's pretty obvious they're typing the same shit over and over.
Shouldn't she be a little more like, can I read what you're writing? Like, what are you doing?
She tried, and then he just started fucking yelling at
Hey,
her.
what the
She's
fuck
putting
are you
in
doing, you
work.
fucking idiot?
When you hear the clickety clack of this typewriter, I'm working.
Yeah. And she'd be like, you know what? Fuck you. Let me see what you're writing. Okay.
Oh, this
I
is
gotta
avant-garde. This is artsy. She's still positive about it. I'll work in no playmate, Johnny. Okay.
she's like, this sucks. Write
What are you
something
eating now, Adam?
Write something. What about that short story you
Oatmeal.
told me about the dog? Yada yada yada.
Oh, the big red one?
Yeah. Why don't you write that book about the big red dog?
Nah, shelved it.
That's the guy who came up with Clifford. The
It's-
author who went on
What if he was just writing gay porn?
and then the guy puts on a
Yeah.
bear costume.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, write about the ghost, you fucking idiot.
So what do you think the moral is? I already know what it is.
Never
quit drinking. Never quit drinking.
Yeah, this is not a
Especially-
good movie for you, Ryan.
Especially,
For you to watch.
no, listen, especially if you're going to try and write a novel, don't quit drinking and then try and write a book. Drink through
Drink
it.
through it. A lot of great writers would have
The
to drink
best.
and be blacked
Edgar
out to
Allan
write.
Poe. Edgar Allan Poe.
Early Stephen King, the good stuff.
See what I'm saying? He wrote The Shining, drunk as hell.
True.
Don't quit drinking. For all you
God.
kids out there,
Jesus,
For
when
all
he
you
wrote the
people-
Bible.
black out, dude. People were trying to get water. This dude's just whining them. You know what? I'm going to do a little wine shot to Jesus. I can drive to Brian.
Ryan.
Don't quit drinking. Trust me.
It's hard to
You'll get a-
argue with
you'll-
the point that the movie makes. It does make that point pretty clearly.
Ghosts
You know,
are
I don't
real.
wanna-
Also, don't
Death
live in a
is-
haunted
death is an
hotel. bro.
illusion.
Don't live in a haunted hotel. Period.
Be better to your husband, and maybe he won't go insane and murder you with an axe.
Oh, yeah. It was their problem that
Treat
needed
your
to be
man
corrected.
right, ladies?
Also, you got a telekinetic kid. Use that kid. Go gamble. Go play cards.
Damn.
Use that kid.
The other lesson is like if you're Kubrick and you make a movie like 2001 and it's a big hit, just remake it as The Shining. You know, you have an isolated group of people. One of them goes insane. One of them outsmarts the other one. Just take the shit that worked and do it again, but different.
Is there more than one people in 2001?
Oh yeah, there's more than two
One
people.
I thought it was a guy and a AI.
And there's another
I'll
guy.
watch it. I'll watch it. I literally don't know anything about that movie
It's
other
two
than it.
bros and one
very
really
visibly-
smart, hyper intelligent AI who knows everything and is in control. Or is it? Kubrick
That guy
has
is
two
me.
big themes. Okay. They are
And
something
AI.
infallible is proven to be like flawed. So it's like the the military plan in Doctor Strangelove falls apart. The AI in 2001 falls apart. The treatment in Clockwork Orange.
Kind of a Hindenburg's Titanic thing.
The novel in The Shining, he's just falling apart. He just can't.
The family. Yeah, like, and the other thing is like there's always a disillusionment, like in The Killing, the gang, they fall apart, they betray each other. There's a lot of betrayal. There's a lot of like Clockwork Orange, the gang falls apart. So the military core group at the beginning of Full Metal Jacket, that falls apart. People go
So
insane.
conflict.
That's just like
So you're saying,
storytelling.
that's just literally what storytelling is.
But it's in every
It's got
movie. It's just,
conflict.
there's always a group of people like who are hyper together, and then they start killing each other.
Yeah, you know what that is, right? That's been
But they're
going
not
on
like good
since,
guys and
like
bad
the Roman
guys.
days. There's been,
But
and
it's
they
like
give you 4 types. They give you the funny one, the smart one. The Ninja Turtles are a perfect example.
Well,
Everything is written in the same.
A
4
lot of movies
archetypes
have good
people.
guys and bad guys, and his things are like his kind of conflict is like a circular group of people who are all together, who are basically equals, and then they
One of them
start
becomes
affecting
the
each
good
other.
guy, one of them becomes a bad guy.
We were
Is
all
he the bad
capable of
guy?
being the bad guy.
Or
Jack
is she the
Nicholson,
bad
yeah.
guy?
His son brought a black man to the house. I mean, come on, you got to kill him. Duh. Correct him. Just
Black
chop
man
him
that
over
can
the
read
neck.
a black man that can read your thoughts. That might be the most dangerous person in the world.
He's all freaked out. He's like, huh? What?
He can read all my racist thoughts.
What a
Damn, could you
reactionary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think they went? Where do you think they drove to? Back home
Applebee's.
to the
Go
sheriff's?
to an Applebee's and
I will say
get chicken fingers.
they just had to get an onion bloomer real quick, or a blooming
Yeah,
onion
yeah.
from.
Do you think she had
So-
a good second marriage?
I
No.
hope so.
What happens to the kid? Does he
Just
grow
another
up?
drunk?
drunk,
Yeah.
just
How
immediately
is
with
she-
another alcoholic,
No,
like
no, no.
authoritarian guy, like a cop or
She would-
something.
She wouldn't. do
But
that
this
to
one works
Danny.
at a motel instead of a hotel.
She wouldn't pick the same sort of abusive pattern over and over again. Wendy,
that's
you've
not
had
how
your
it
I think
whole
after
fucking
after
life
that's-
to think it over. God, that
It-
scene on the staircase.
It's like
I mean,
it's
that's
like
the best
lightning.
scene.
Once you get struck once, it's not going to happen again.
This movie has so many good scenes.
It actually happens.
What if he got
more
struck by
often if you
lightning
get
at the
struck
end?
once.
That would be cool.
Oh, really?
The axe.
If you get struck by lightning once, you have like almost 100% chance to get struck again in your life. You have more
Damn,
of a
'cause you're
chance to
charged
get.
up.
There's
Final
one dude in
Destination,
like
bro.
1918. There's like one dude who's been struck the most, and it was like 9 times or something crazy over like 2 years. And his wife
It's like the
ended up
same
leaving
amount
him.
that
It
Thor has
ruined his
gotten.
life. His wife left him. Like everybody just didn't want to be around him. And I think he ended up killing himself. Something crazy because he just kept getting struck
Damn.
by lightning. And he was like fine health
If
wise.
that story is true at all.
It is. It's like a 1980. Look up the guy who got struck the most by lightning on your own time. Safe search off.
He killed himself though.
I
For
don't
sure.
know. I made up
Okay.
half of that story,
Sure,
but
why not?
that is
Okay,
a true
okay.
thing.
You've heard of this guy.
There is a guy that got struck like 9. I mean, the person that's on record being struck the most. And it was
He's
just
like
like,
powder,
yeah, literally.
basically powder.
Oh, I'm thinking of the movie Powder. Never mind.
Love
That's
that
what-
movie.
He's bald.
Okay, so
He's really has really white skin. They call him powder.
stop it.
Wendy, give me the axe. Give me the axe. And when he sticks his little tongue out, wiggles his tongue, that's hilarious.
Give me the bat.
Jack
back
Nicholson
then.
is really funny in this movie, honestly.
This movie's hilarious.
He's lost it, dude. He's off his rockers. Like it's so good. It's like such a good
Yeah, he's
cabin
chewing
feet.
this-
What
he's
is that
going
word?
full Jacko mode.
He's going full Jack.
They call him Jacko.
Y'all ready to
and
get
this is
jacked
Max
up?
Jacko. Don't they call him
Max
Jacko?
Jacko. My name is Max Jacko. That'd be a cool name for a cop.
Oh,
in a
working no
movie.
play make Jacko a dull boy. Yeah,
I'm
doesn't hit the
changing my
same.
name to Jacko Nicholson.
Jacko Nicholson.
Well, he's
Oh,
like,
adding another. Oh, that's cool.
this movie took 13 months to shoot. That's a long
Jesus
shoot.
Christ, that's a year. That's dope though. That means
And
somebody
you don't get
getting
paid
work
by
for
the
a
day
year.
as an actor. You get flat fee. So there's like
Yeah,
other
worth
jo-
it
and-
though.
and it goes
they
over
sign-
schedule.
What are they getting on the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
end? Are they getting some of that? Because that's like such a cult classic. People are buying up. My friend I play Magic the Gathering with just bought a new play mat that is the carpet. It's just that red square cubed carpet of the,
That's
when the
cool.
blood comes pouring down, it's that
They're like
hallway's carpet.
hexagonal. It's
Yeah.
like hexagonal.
So like, are
Interlocking pits
they?
of hexagon.
Yeah, and it's specifically from The Shine. Like, are they getting? Because there's not like toys.
No, Jack
these
Nicholson
actors
got back
getting
end
what's
on
the residuals
Batman.
like?
On Batman, he got a huge percentage of the gross and
Because
made
there was
almost
toys and stuff.
$100 million. And then he was fucking rich and didn't give a shit anymore. He's like, I'm Jacko now.
That's what he
Jacko,
went
I'm
for, Jacko.
Joker. I'm the Joker.
I'm Joke Nicholson.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Cool.
What if the Joker was in this movie?
He was at that bar scene. That opening bar scene was the Joker. He does this too. He keeps licking his lips.
It's a Joker inspired performance, maybe.
He inspired the Joker. That was performance was
Or
created. Yeah.
the
His
Joker's
shining
always
character.
been like a thing.
The Joker is a character throughout
Not live action
Yes.
though, outside of the freaking painted over mustache one. He reinvented the joke.
That's pretty sinister. That's a pretty
You're talking about Caesar
chilling
Romero.
performance.
The Adam.
What if Adam West was
season.
in this movie?
Yeah, I could see him being the bartender or something.
Oh. And he's like chasing after Robin. And he's dressed up like Batman.
What was
Robin,
that?
come
It's
here, I'm
the
gonna
scene.
kill
It's
you.
literally and Robin stepping backwards over his footprints. It's the same scene.
But it's like on a sideways building and they have a rope. He kills Scatman Crothers. It's
Okay,
like,
so where did they go? And I like how they didn't show them in the car driving away. They just show the car driving away. There's always a scene at the
And then
end
they
of
cut to the
scary
photo.
movies where it shows the two people in the passenger seat, like laughing that they, like happy that they're escaping.
whoa, did that just happen? That was
Yeah,
was
and
random.
I thought that's what it was about to happen. I'm like, oh, don't Stan
they play
Lee.
like
And he didn't.
positive music.
Freeze frame, jump in the air, freeze frame type situation. Adam, what's going
Yeah,
on?
Shelley
bud?
Duvall raises a fist in the air and it freeze frames on that.
There was a scene of Wendy in the hospital that was cut.
Out the
It's
window.
a famous deleted scene. So the
And
movie
it's
was out
after
for
the fact.
the movie was out for a week, and then Kubrick cut it. So there was actually a scene you could see when the movie
At
was
the
out for
end?
the first weekend.
At the very
yes.
end.
And
Yeah,
it
what's
was
the
like
scene?
the police are like, we didn't find any body in the hedge maze, and then it cut to him in the photo. So it was like he got absorbed.
That would make more sense, but
He's out there
that's
lurking,
too cheesy. At the end, it's too cheesy.
and he's like, "I'm cutting that scene."
Yeah, well, you cut.
Also,
yeah,
he wasn't even that
you
good
should
of a
cut
killer,
everything that
dude.
explains stuff towards at the end. You should cut
For a
everything
movie
that
like
explains
this,
stuff and just
exactly.
let
Yeah,
it
totally.
show it. Let it kind of
What's going on?
be a
This is
mystery.
That's
You
how
want-
we
you
should.
want
End, that's how we
ambiguity in
should.
the end.
That's how we should end this this podcast episode with a little ambiguity.
What are our
Oh,
ratings?
yeah. Who
We
knows?
just don't know.
It's
So
up
for
to
me,
you to decide.
This is a 5-star movie. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. This is my favorite Kubrick movie.
I'll probably
Love
watch it.
it.
It's
I
very
could- I could-
rewatchable.
You can just
Very
put this
rewatchable.
on.
Don't be a
just-
jerk. It's a 5-star movie.
You can
You
put
know?
this
That's what I'm
on
saying.
and you can masturbate.
To the old lady scene.
You can laugh. There's lots of great lines to quote.
Funny movie.
Dude, I was watching it with my roommate's cat, and he was freaked out.
One of my favorite lines: "Are you out of
Like
your
in Hubie
fucking
Halloween.
mind?" Jack,
Ow.
he has bruises. Are you
Are
out
you
of your
Out
fucking
of your
mind?
fucking mind.
Classic
Yes.
line.
And it's like, bro, you crazy, dude. You just said we just found out you just typed
That's
200
also like
pages
what
of the same thing. You crazy,
But it-
Jack. You,
But it's not
you
even just
nuts.
going crazy. It's just showing like a really abusive relationship.
Mhm.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like
The-
the
everything
abusive
is
That's
person
what, that's
doesn't
what she was.
own up
I
to
feel
shit
like,
like that.
that's what she was upset because Jack Nicholson got a little too actually abusive.
Well, it
Yeah,
makes
it's
like
all
the
too in
these
character.
domestic things like supernatural. Like it pushes them into like this surreal territory, but it
Plus,
still follows
Yeah,
It's like they're in a
those
house.
scenes.
They're in
a
a little. They're in a
tangible
house
problem,
that's
yeah.
the size of a building. They're in an enormous version of a
Yeah.
house. They're playing house, and there's like a
Yeah,
giant
totally.
kitchen that's like hundreds of feet long. There's like
very
giant
good.
rooms and giant hallways.
her walking
and they're
that
just-
tray. Yeah, the kid and I let like the kid on the trike.
house
is
of
beautiful
horrors.
beautiful way to show how big it actually is. I mean, there's so much
So-
blood coming down those halls. Can you imagine the cleanup?
Clean up on aisle 4. Somebody
That was just her fucking
Should've said
period,
that
am
in
I
the
right,
movie.
guys?
I don't know if you're right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just her bloody period.
Those kids weren't old enough.
Hey, that elevator scene, that's just me after too much Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh,
oh my god.
bleeding out my asshole.
I'd say Chipotle, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
This is yeah.
It's red
That's actually
blood
true.
coming
about
out.
William.
You're just pissing blood out your ass.
No, you take probiotics now. It's not like that anymore.
They couldn't make this movie in the 80s because of HIV.
It's
That
more
blood would be like-
coagulated. It's more chunky now,
yeah, it's like chili now.
but just all blood. There's
The
no
modern
poop.
American diet.
All blood. It's just only blood. Like a blood turd. Imagine a
No
turd.
poop,
Imagine
only
a
blood.
solid turd that's only blood, but it's like still firm and it's a poop. And one
Hold on,
corn.
here's a
There's
question
like
about
one
the
piece
That
of
elevator.
sounds
corn
like
in
a
there.
clean.
There's still corn in it somehow.
That blood,
Unchewed.
what? It's taking a little ride in the elevator.
I'm talking about a turd coming out your butt and it's just all blood and there's no poop.
That's me when I go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like still coagulated, kind of like it's almost like you pooped a clot.
The
Oh my
couches, couches that are like flying across the room and like tables are being knocked over.
This is making me uncomfortable. Have you ever had a blood clot? I had a root canal once and there was a blood clot that came out and it was like,
Holy
it
shit!
felt,
that did.
it felt like a loogie. And it was literally, I pulled it out. It was literally
That's
like,
scary.
you know, the size of a dime and it was just all blood.
Good.
It's just
Is that
coagulated.
a real blood clot, or are you just talking about like?
Yeah, no, I had to get my tooth sewn shut. So he's like, what's going to happen is it's like it's like your body's pus, not
Ew.
pus, but like
This is so
antibiotics and
disgusting.
natural. Yeah, it was just, and it just spit it out and it looked like I was a fucking boxer. Like I spit, my teeth are all bloody and then it was gone.
I feel like I just
Oh, it's
watched the
so
old lady
disturbing,
scene
dude.
again.
It was so, it's a common thing with
Would you
mouth
fuck that
surgery.
old lady?
Of course. I'm not gay, of course.
It's like the fucking king from House.
She
House of
seems like
Dragon.
somebody I'd like to date. You know, I don't think this is like a one that's like maybe
What if she was rich?
yes. It's all it take. Oh yeah.
You know,
So that was actually a witch, right? And there was actually somebody living in that room.
Yeah,
I don't
there's a
think that
witch.
one was.
That's a
I don't
witch
think that
thing.
one was a ghost. Yeah.
That's
what
the
fuck
witch
are you
move.
two talking about?
He
The
says
witch?
don't go to 237, but then the guy has no other
It
problems
is
with
the
any of
witch
the other
move,
ghosts.
but I guess it's all ghosts and stuff. Yeah. Also, but wait a minute. I was thinking about this. I've seen this a few times. I've never had this thought, but like, why don't they go fucking deal with nobody's checking on the old lady in the room after this happens?
Yeah, she's
know?
old, dude.
Are you are you
Just
an idiot? Adam?
fucking take a bat over there and like,
He
just-
did, and then he went in there to check on it. And he ended up making out with her.
no, afterwards be like, what the fuck? He got away.
No, he shut the door. That's all you do. Just don't go in that room.
Okay, I don't think you understand what the actual conflict of the story is.
Alcoholism,
It's not like going around with a baseball bat beating up all the evil ghosts.
beating up ghosts. Why didn't they just beat up
Let's go.
ghosts?
Probably if you
Also-
just beat up all the ghosts, then there would be no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, why was he attacking that door?
But also it's
Should've been
there's
swinging
also a
at
little
them
logic
ghosts.
gap, and a logic issue, I think, with how Shelley Duvall just takes Jack's word for it.
What?
That there's nothing in there and stuff, and
She's
she
a-
doesn't check herself.
Well, why
like,
would he
she's-
lie though? And she's scared. Why and she's abused and
But why
she's a
doesn't she
victim.
like kind of?
He's
why isn't she like
gaslighting
watching?
her.
She's like a
over the-
survivor. Yeah, she's like
she's
a
a-
survivor of
doesn't-
gaslighting.
I don't buy that she would believe that.
She's
Or just, like,
passive.
Adam,
Well, she bought
you-
his bullshit about, oh, I just used a little too much force.
Yeah.
She's in
Right,
denial.
Right.
Adam
She's
doesn't
in
get it because
denial.
Adam is her in his marriage. Adam, you
Adam-
need to blink twice, dude, if you're with your captor.
Yeah.
She's right outside
you're
of frame. I
allowed to
can't
leave
tell if
that
he's blinking.
shed, are you?
I can't. He's
I
chained
can
up
leave the
in
shed anytime I want. I just really like it.
You stand
He's-
up and there's like chain on a ball and chain.
He stands up and spreads
hear
his
that.
ass cheeks and starts winking his butthole.
Yeah.
He's like, this is, oh yeah, the winking. This is what I used to do for my dad.
Damn, Michael Jackson.
That'd be cool if
He
Adam's dad was
shined.
Michael Jackson.
Actually, that'd be
It's just-
really cool.
You're just like, I bet this one guy at this party, and then I was talking to him, and then afterwards, my friend was like, "You know who that is, right?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "That's Mark Hamill's son," and it's just like a guy, And I just talked to him about like he like was inking Simpsons comics in Photoshop, and he never mentioned his
Cool.
dad. And it's just, and that'd be cool if like
That's a cool
Michael
job.
Jackson's son was Adam like that. It's just like, yeah, Adam, to have a podcast.
He's
live in a
trying to
shed.
hide his he's. So people
And then you
don't
just go to
ask.
his house and you see a photo of like a family photo of him and his dad and like a monkey. You're like, what? Michael Jackson's your father? Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, and I don't see
I
it. And
know.
Adam puts a blanket over his face, and I go, "Oh, I see it. You're the one he dangled. You're the one he dangled."
I'm blanket.
And then Adam lifts up his wrist and there's a giant diamond bracelet over his wrist, like a beautiful, expensive bracelet. And he has like little Italian shoes. It's like, all right, let's go.
Lisa
Yeah.
Marie Presley brings him
And
lunch
they
one
spin
day.
around, do a complete
Oh, that's my
spin.
stepmom.
Yeah. He pulls out he's a monkey. That's his wife. He kisses the monkey.
She turns into a,
Got
making out with
him
a
running around the house would have been such a better
Dunstan
movie.
checks in. I'm gonna check this tongue into that mouth.
Just remake The Shining with Michael Jackson, a little kid. It'd be such
Just
a funny
making out with a
movie.
monkey.
The monkey's blowing him. Chacona.
Instead of and you read Chamone in the mirror, and what does it say? Instead
I
of
think
red
that's
rum
the South Park. Didn't South Park do this? I mean, he's
Probably.
chasing the kids around.
backwards.
Oh boy. Well, this is a delightful movie. I guess that's it for Halloween. You guys, what was
That's the last scary.
What's the scariest movie?
What are you talking about? Don't we have two more?
No.
This is it.
Let's keep watching scaries though. It's the middle of October. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
We're
these
done
We're
with
episodes-
recording these in
next week
advance, you
comes
fucking
Hubie
idiot.
Halloween.
And
That's
then
the
this one
18th.
next time. Oh, this is the fourth. What did we watch?
You sad? Sad that it's over?
Bubba Hotep.
I haven't been chilled. That wasn't chilling.
So
Night of the Creeps.
That was not chilling. Actually, that one was kind of chilling with
You
the
were
slugs.
scared to watch this movie, and you were saying for days, like, I'm not going to watch The Shining.
I'm not going to watch it because I wanted a verbal proof that we watch.
But
What did I
boy,
say? Oh, but boy. Yeah, I already forgot about
I thought
that
you were
too.
just trying to get him to.
So say it. Oh, no.
I was impressed.
movies aren't
It's just
scary,
been a long-term
Ryan.
bit I've been doing. Yes, they are. What?
You're not.
Well, you
actually-
could have watched
every
Silent
time-
Hill, but you wanted to watch Who'd Be Halloween because you were too scared of Silent
Mars
Hill.
Attacks. I still haven't seen Mars Attacks as an adult. That's the scariest
not
movie I've seen in my
scary.
life.
Jack
The scene when she
Nicholson,
walks
dual
in, dude.
roles. Dual roles with Jack Nicholson.
That's scary.
Does he go full Jacko mode?
He gets a little jack.
In Las Vegas,
in
yes.
one or both?
God damn Martians.
73%. 73% Jacko.
Okay.
He doesn't go full
Cool.
Jacko mode though. Full metal Jacko.
Never go full Jacko.
Never go full Jacko. Look at what
Michael
happened to Heath
Jackson
Ledger.
in Full Metal Jacket.
Heath Ledger went full Jacko. Dead.
Damn.
That drill sergeant would really tear up Michael Jackson in that movie and abuse him.
I don't get the reference, but yeah.
He hasn't seen that movie. But yeah.
Five out of
Eyes
five.
Wide
Five
Shut,
out of five.
Happy
Ryan.
Halloween, everybody.
I hated Eyes Wide Shut. I watched Eyes Wide Shut the week after I got broken up with. And it was awful. We were watching it and it was like my friend, I was sleeping on his couch. I had a rash from the kitten job I had. And I was sleeping on a love seat. My feet hung off. And my friend was like, we're going to have a party. It's just going to be the boys. And they invited like 3 boyfriends over. And we started drink. We were doing shot. He was doing his best to get me feeling good, to like get me out of the breakup.
While Eyes Wide Shut
And
was playing.
then he was just
Or
trying to
then
have a
put it
guy's
on.
night, and then and he's like, we're watching Eyes Wide Shut. You haven't seen it? And they put it on. And then I'm like, this is probably what my ex is doing right now. Getting fucked
in
by
a room
Tom
full of
Cruise in an orgy.
The
Yeah.
deep
And
state.
it made me really sad because I just couldn't picture her not being at a party. Like I'm on this couch, just gross and sad.
Like
she's
he's
probably at-
Illuminati.
She's probably at some Illuminati party. Yeah. Getting raw dogged by Bezos.
Damn.
So I don't like Eyes Wide Shut. See, I'm as an empath. Movies affect me depending on the what's going on around me.
Interesting.
Any theories we have to drag out? The Native American stuff. It's the house.
Oh, it's
the
burial,
hotel is
Indian
buried on
burial
an
ground.
Indian burial ground.
A massacre. And the guy even makes a joke about it where he's like, yeah, a few of them tried to escape and they had to like shoot them down.
That's why the ghost alcohol is so powerful, because they understand the power of alcoholism.
He also didn't ever make a drink. He didn't mix anything. He just handed him a full one. And then the thing was empty and then it was full again. So what was he just sitting there? Was he just sitting there at an empty bar?
You just a little shot of his
Talking
dick.
to himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He was.
like
There
a-
wasn't. He was talking to himself. I mean, he was talking to the ghost.
No, there's ghosts, baby. The
It's
ghosts are
visibly
real.
tangible.
talking to a
The Shining is real. He communicates with a child across
Yeah.
the country, or he gets the cook to show up, you know? Ghosts are real.
The Shining,
that's the
by the way,
lesson.
is like just the term that
Those are real.
Scatman Crothers' grandmother gave it.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
very
like
And
what
it's
she's
Stephen
just
called.
King
and it's
detail
it's
kind
just
of thing.
it's just
It
Magical
does sound like
Negro.
something like a black grandma would say. Would call it like that's like kind of like Maya Angelou vibe.
I think I'm
Calling
a
it The
little
Shining.
look at
It's
I
like
think I'm a little
reclaiming it and being, like,
shiny.
proud of it. So.
Look how shiny I am right
You
now.
you do got some shining.
That
Ryan.
zzz. I got a nice little glare going in the window for all you listeners.
That's great.
Well, this is
Damn,
definitely
I had a psychic. This is real. I had a psychic ask me if I was psychic once.
Wow, that's a brilliant thing for a psychic to ask. Are you psychic?
And I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah, should she be
And then
asking
we-
questions at all? Like, shouldn't she?
It
isn't
was
that
at
the
a
whole
party.
thing?
I wasn't paying for her services. She came up and she goes, "Are
She
you?"
won't turn it on.
She goes, "Are you?" She goes, "You used to swim, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like it was a crazy. It was bizarre. She
You're
goes,
just in
"Okay."
like trunks.
She goes, "Yeah, it was at a party. Everybody, it was in Beverly Hills, and everybody's all coked out." And she just came across the room and said this to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I used to swim." She's like, "All right, I just got like this weird vibe, like this weird wash of like you really enjoying swimming." And I never talked to this lady in my life, and I was like, "Yeah, no, that's a thing." And then she's like stopped, and she goes, "Also, are you like psych? Are you like premonition?" She said a word, not psychic, and I was like, "No."
You
I do crowd work on stage sometimes.
I'm sorry. This is weird. Do you have a blood clot in your anus?
I go, not anymore. I just pooped that out. And I just pissed that clot
That's
out my
weird.
ass about 15 minutes ago. She goes, "Yeah, I know. You clogged the toilet. This is my house."